Murtz Jaffer back in the Big Brother Canada 5 house with Ika Wong, the star of the season. Ika, what does it feel like being back and getting so much attention for what you did?
Oh my God, it feels amazing being back. I'm so honored that they asked me to come back for a second time and just that I got a chance to show that I'm not just, an entertaining person. I could also play this game.
That's actually a really big point. Did you find that a lot of people looked at you before as just sort of being the person with the sound bites, the person who's good in the DR? And do you feel like now people look at you as more of a player?
Yeah, I definitely felt like people saw me more of a person to entertain them, and that's great. Like, I love entertaining people. I'm hoping now that they respect me more as a game player as well.
What lessons did you learn the first time that you applied this time?
You know what? The first time I learned that I did not follow my gut the first time, and this time I told myself I am not going to come in and not follow my gut. I'm always going to follow my gut, and I have this entire time.
When people think back to this season, like when they think about Big Brother Canada 5, I think one of the first things they're going to talk about is the relationship between Ika and Demetres. When did you connect with him? When did it turn more into something that's not just like an alliance, that it's a little bit more than that? When did that happen?
So it's so funny because, he was, all the beds were taken and his was the only one that was not taken. And I'd walked in and I was just like, are you sharing with anyone? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, can I just sleep there? And he's like, sure. And I was just so bitter. I was so angry. And I had to sleep with the guy. And I just laid there and there's just a huge space in between us. And I think on day 6, when, I would have gone with my alliance and evicted him, I felt so horrible about it because I knew he trusted me. And after day 6, I knew that this is the person I want to work with for sure. And I would say a little after that is when we started, feeling differently about each other for sure.
He won so many competitions. I mean, he set a new record. I've never seen anyone on any show win as much as he has. Who had the control then? Like, he would win, and then was it sort of like, all right, you did your part, now it's my time to use this? Like, was it a partnership, or was it sort of like he won so he calls the shots?
It was definitely a partnership. I feel like I don't want people to think that I controlled him or he controlled everything. We sat and discussed every single thing, and it was never I'm controlling his game and I'm doing this and I want credit for it. It's a legit partnership. It was an equal partnership.
So there's a reason I wanted to do this interview in this room, because this is the room where it all went down.
Yes,
so can you take me back to that moment? And maybe can you even give me a little like, you're going home, you're going home.
God.
You gotta give it. I mean, we're in the room. Okay, wait. I'll be Cindy. Okay. So I'm just. Okay.
I'm like, Cindy, you have to do this. She is going to be the death of this alliance. Get her out.
And you gotta give me the line though. You gotta give me. You're going home.
I think I said something. I was like, you are going home.
Back to business though. When you decided to target her, like, when did that happen? Was there something she did? Because it sounded like you guys were tight together at the beginning of the game.
Yes. So, I mean, this is the thing with Neda. Whenever she didn't get her way, she would get upset and she'd throw a fit. And if there was a disagreement, she would run around and tell everyone. And that's not good for my game if this little, girl is, and I'm aggressive, is telling people that, oh, she's an attitude, or, oh, she's just like, she's ruining my game. And so I didn't like that aspect of, her personality, where it's like she was doing that to me. And, she'd get angry if you didn't do things the way she wanted you to do things. So not only was she bad for my game, but she was also bad for my mental health. So she really had to go,
Do you believe that the other house guests were scared to move against you?
I think for them, if they did, they wanted to make sure that I was gone. They did not want to take a hit and leave me in this house, because it wouldn't have been a good situation for them.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with Dre? Like, I thought you guys were like just sisters at one point, and then you left on bad terms, but then you hugged her when you came back for the jury thing with Tim. So where does that relationship stand now?
You know what? With Dre, I wanted to work with her. I thought she would have been a good person to work with. Unfortunately, she didn't feel the same way. When I went out, I hugged everyone who gave me a hug except for Jackie. So, I mean, I did hug every single person. I just want to know if the things that she did was more personal or if it was more game for me to get past it. So I'll leave it at that.
When Kevin decided to use the power of veto on you, I remember saying to everyone, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It doesn't make any sense. How surprised were you?
I wasn't surprised because before that, I sat Demetri and Karen down and I was like, what if he uses it on me, puts Karen on the block to ensure that Demetri goes home? And so when he did it, I was like, and that's why I said coward, because I thought he was going to replace, myself with Karen to ensure that Demetri goes home. The thing is, Kevin has no one in this house. And that whole week, make a conscious decision to not campaign to him, to not speak to him. So all he had was to just sit there and overthink every single thing. He thought that we were closer to Dylan than we were to Karen. And he just miscalculated and put Dylan on the block and we sent him home.
And my final question is this. Karen saved you and Demetri so many times in the house. Yes. Was there any part of you that was sort of like, I owe her a vote? Yes,
absolutely 100%. I felt like emotionally, I love Karen more than most of these people. I do. But I also do know that had I given my vote to Karen, people would have saw it more of a bitter move and not, I'm going to give her a vote even though I know she won't win. And I was like, I'm going to just stick true to it and give Kevin my vote because he is a deserving winner. And I'll talk to Karen about it afterwards.
Amazing. Ika, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.